This is the Pine Man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pine Man.
How are you all doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'm glad that you're able to stop by, hang out with the boys.
As am I. It's great to have you here, and hope you stick around for a while. It'd be a good time.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be. You can quote us on that. It will be good.
Yeah, I
was te-
co-sign that.
It's been signed and co-signed.
Yeah.
I was telling Matt just before that I was helping a friend move today, and now my body is in extreme amount of pain.
Oh, you left the extreme pain part out.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I stood up and went to go get some coffee.
Oh my god.
I was like, "Oh, my arms hurt."
Yeah, you'll really feel it tomorrow. That's when it's really good.
I know. Can't wait.
Damn.
Moving,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, this is your second
I-
time moving in like a month, right?
Yeah.
But this one's
And-
not even for you.
No, but I did get some. I did get a margarita out of it though, and a burrito, so it was worth it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good trade-off, I guess.
And I get to cruise around today in a car, which is like, I don't get to do that very often. It
Really?
was fun. Yeah. One of his friends picked us up over here, and we drove to the U-Haul spot to rent the U-Haul.
Yeah.
Then I got to drive in the U-Haul.
Oh.
That was nice. It's always nice driving in a big truck, Feel a little bit of power.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, I get the car fetish, A lot of people have that, and I understand it. I get it.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it's right. Mean it's right.
Right. When you put it that way, okay. Because I never even really understood it, but I mean, I don't know. I've been in a U-Haul once, and yeah, there's a feeling of like, damn, this thing's big. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where it ends for me. But if someone really likes that feeling, I guess then you make it your personality. I don't know.
Yeah, you become the truck guy.
Yeah, and then imagine if you have a car that goes fast. Then you're the guy who goes fast. You know what I'm saying?
Fast car guy, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I've heard of those guys. I see a lot of fast car. It's always wild to me when you're sitting in your apartment all quiet and nice, and all of a sudden someone just fucking
Yeah.
buys you. Like, where are you going?
Right.
The street is a quiet street.
And my thought
Why are you going quick?
every time I hear that or whatever, it's just like, or see it, it's just like, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's never been a living human being on the face of this planet who would ever think that that's cool in any way.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
apparently there are people. It's just so weird. Like, I don't know.
Where does it come from?
I don't know.
It's a cultural thing. It must be. It's like at some point in their development, they started thinking that going fast was because I mean, I guess it is exhilarating to some extent.
Yeah.
To go quickly in a vehicle.
Yeah, sure.
But is it worth it?
Let me work it. I don't know. That's what they're saying.
I mean, I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah, they definitely do too. When they do that, that's what's really happening. At the end of the day, is they're doing a little bit of that. They're doing. I'm not going to attempt to say the other part. The reversal thing, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. That totally threw me off.
No, people are silly gooses, man. Really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
I love talking about that. How dumb we are. All this little stuff that we like and we get so into, and it's like,
yeah. I mean,
but we need things to occupy our mind, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when you pretty much base. Well, don't mean to be a one of those people who's just gonna always relate things to this, but hey, I guess it is what it is. But
capitalism, maybe.
It's like that's what happens when society is built around consumption, and you just are like, oh well, who am I? Well, what do I consume?
Yeah.
If I you know, really enjoy like the card game Magic the Gathering, that's me, baby. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, that's a little
Yeah.
more, at least you're participating in something, but, you know, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You be the car guy, or you be like the, I don't know, like
Well, yeah, we do
you're
it with a
like
lot of
a
stuff
comic
that,
book guy or something, you know, like
yeah, and it's interesting, because like I was gonna say, like people really identify as being a musician or whatever, but like that's like a thing that you're participating in that a lot more than you are with just buying a vehicle and driving
right,
it.
or buying
Yeah,
like you know, a Captain America poster or something, or like a T-shirt that you know has like a Batman logo on it or something, which that's
mhm,
just pure, or being like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I am like a huge like Star Wars guy, or like, oh my god, I wear like Game of Thrones merchandise or something, which
see, that's the thing, and that goes back to, like, I mean, with music, it's like the
right,
people who are, like, really gear oriented,
mm-hmm. I always
that's a
found
whole
that to
'nother
be
thing.
weird. Yeah, right. I was
Mhm,
even when you first said the thing about musician, I was like, yeah, exactly. But you know, people, it's one thing to be like, yeah, I'm a musician, versus I'm like a guitar collector or something. You know, like
yeah, yeah,
that's like a
yeah.
totally different type of thing. Even people who, yeah, even people who are musicians but are also just like fetishize, like, oh my god, this is like a 1960 Les Paul that, like, you know, whatever. I mean, I get that for sure. Like maybe it has a better sound or something like that, and that's like why you're obsessed with it. But just the commodity, just like the, what's the word? Uh, I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. Like the good feeling you get from
Mm,
just knowing that it's like the novelty of like
yeah,
of
yeah.
being like yeah, this is like just like a really classic guitar. You know, it's like
It's
cool,
interesting, yeah.
cool. It's that's cool, but like I mean, yeah.
How much did it cost
Right.
you?
Am I gonna be like, you know, sorry, we can't I gotta really like not go out to, you know, I gotta really watch what I spend my money on for the next like couple months because I really had to spend like 15 grand on like a, you know, a guitar or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird, it is weird. Does it bring you joy, I guess is the question, and why? It's more so the why for me a
Yeah,
lot.
that's definitely, yeah, because it must bring them some either joy or like the illusion of joy to be like,
Yeah.
or it's just like a fleeting joy, like feels good. I mean, that must be the case for anything you buy. How can you be like, I don't know, you know, I don't
Mhm.
know. It's like,
It is true, it is true.
but yeah, with the why, yeah, it's like, I don't know. No, I think it brings it full circle. It's like, I think the reason why is because, you know, people want to have a like a unique identity and like, but also be part of something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so they're part of this cool culture, like, and whoa, they're one of like the top people because they have like, they're not just like some random guitarist. They have like a 1960 Les Paul that was like in good condition, and you know, it's
yeah.
like, okay though. I mean, I don't know, like, like, I mean,
That's the thing, it's like, yeah, we can do without that. Like, it's just
yeah.
the
And I'm not
there's
trying to
yeah.
hate, you know, if you want to be a collector, I'm, you know, enjoy yourself. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's a weird thing to look at. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but it's like, yeah, it is fine to be a collector, but it's also like, what does that say about us
Yeah,
as a society?
right. That's kind of why I brought up like Magic the Gathering. Like, it's like you're a collector of just like an item, but you can use it as a game. But it's like you win if you bought more stuff. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just weird.
Hmm. What are we really doing here?
It's like I win because I own this card, or I
Yeah.
own enough expensive or good
I
cards.
had to buy so many cards to
Right.
finally get this one that if I have it, I'm better at the game.
Right, because I have a higher probability of drawing a useful card from the deck. I've never even
Yeah.
played the game, but so no hate, but you know.
It's the kind of thing, it's like if that game can be won with like a really cheap deck, if you're good, then
Hmm.
that's one thing.
Yeah, and maybe you can. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering.
How do you
people out
play
there.
Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, exactly.
And can you win?
That's why, I mean, just I find it to be like one of the most satisfying things to do is like playing like D&D, It's like you just do stuff. That's it. You're just doing stuff. It's not like,
It's all
oh my god,
imagination.
like whatever. The whole reason I'm playing is so that I can get this really like powerful sword, and then like that's the main reason I'm playing. Like, it's like
Yeah. Speaking of D&D,
we haven't played in a while, but we should.
yeah. You know who you are if you're out there watching. You want to play D&D soon?
Yeah, where's
Let us know.
what is it? Licensed Carpenter in the chat? Where are you, buddy?
Yeah.
But
Our good friend.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Absolutely. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, it would be cool to do that on stream even. That would be fun. I just don't know how we would set it up with because everyone would be able to see my thing and I can see the whole map and stuff. So, but who cares? We're making up as we go along. You're pretty much helping me do it anyway. Like, you guys give
so
input.
Fun.
The way we do it, it's like I'm the DM, but like, and we only have 2 players, which is Eric and someone else. And
licensed carpenter.
Yeah, licensed carpenter. And we but like there's no module being followed, no story. Like it's literally just being made up as we go. And as I go through it, I'm pretty much like getting feedback from them on like little, like broader things, and then like I just kind of work out like, ooh, okay, this would be a fun way to implement that. But yeah, like they add in on the world building,
Yeah.
And I've never it's DM'd or anything before. It's fun. It'll be so much fun to do that. I feel like.
I know, and we're up to such a cool part too.
I know, but we haven't played in a few weeks. We were playing like 2-3 days a week in the beginning. We were going crazy, but staying up until like 4 in the morning. Yeah.
Licensed carpenter has a lot of work to do lately.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's why we
he's been carpenting.
Took a little break.
Doing some carpentry.
Yeah, he's renewing his license. Yeah. So yeah, one of these days check out the Pine Men and you'll see Ebba and Idao exploring the world of well, I don't know if it really has a name, but we started off in Portside.
Yeah.
Portside, and then there's like Hillside and
Bayside.
Bayside. Yes. So we
That's
didn't
where
name
Lou's
that.
from.
Yeah. He totally is. He totally is. Yeah. Well, close enough. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
The real Lou's from Freeport.
Yeah, exactly. But not too far off. But with what do you call it? Yeah, it's a cool little thing going on. So far we got Ebba and Idao. I don't know. Tune in if you want to hear the whole story.
Yeah. We'll do a special.
Yeah, we'll do a recap.
D&D stream
for sure. Yeah, it'll be awesome.
How are the plants?
They doing good. They're it's a little throwback. Doing good. I mean, I don't know. Not really. I got tomatoes I got many tomatoes, but they're all green still, so that'll be good. I got a cucumber growing. It's only about like
by spring you have a barbecue and fucking have some fresh tomato on those burgers.
Yeah, exactly. Or well, what do you mean? By the end of the summer, you mean? Or like
yeah, summertime barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be awesome. What else? There's a lot of good stuff. There's like a watermelon plant that's like going ham, so I have to transplant that tomorrow. That'll be cool.
Damn.
Yeah, so.
I was just thinking it'd be funny if we had like, maybe in the future, we'll have like plant cams.
Oh, so we can just
like, how are the planting? You just be like, oh, let me just bring them up. And just cuts to like the plants growing.
Yeah, I actually had a pretty good idea. Well, I don't know if this is like really... Okay, well, let me just explain my insane idea. It's not insane, I guess, but okay. Ready? So I'm sure okay, if I do this is gonna be spoilers, but who cares? I mean, there's like gonna be like no one even watching this probably. Oh, no, there's 3 people in Twitch. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
So what I'm gonna do, I don't know. Basically, when you grow plants, there's some of the leaves that they shoot off are like not really productive. They don't really help with anything. They just kind of like are shooting them out just in case anything happens to the other leaves, so that they don't lose their like energy receptors, you know. And but really all they do until that you're taking care of the plants, so there's no real need to have backup energy like that to that degree. And so those things are just called suckers, and they because they like suck energy out of the plant basically for no real reason. And so today I was out there and I was like pulling them off with my fingers, and I had so this is the video idea. Well, basically, just one part of the video is going to be me going through, picking off the suckers off of the thing, and there's this Kendrick song that's like, picking up the fucking pump, picking off you suckers, sucker dick or die. So, yeah, and like, but he says picking off you suckers, and so I'm going to be doing that while that song plays. That's a cool story, bro.
Fuck
but,
yeah.
Like, it's good. It'll be cool. I don't know. That's just like, I'm telling you that more for the purpose of giving you insight into the stupidity of that thought rather than just being like, yo, think about this dope idea I had. It's more just like, can you believe the dumb shit that comes into my mind?
No, I mean that's the way that it goes.
But I think
I love it.
good.
I love hearing the dumb shit that comes into your mind.
Yeah, I just gotta. Well, thank you.
Art, man.
Thanks. I just gotta make it. That's the hard part.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really looking forward to you starting. But I feel like once you make one, you're gonna be like, I have to do this whole.
I
time.
know it's true. Yeah, I know. Because
are we live on YouTube right now?
Yes, we are.
I was looking for the stream and I couldn't find it.
Oh, it's unlisted. I don't know if can I change it.
It should still be live though.
I can just make it public quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Try again.
Because I thought it would pop up when
Oh, there's Licensed Carpenter. What's up, man?
Oh, he's in here?
Yeah. Any new drink review? Yeah, good question.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm drinking a drink right now. And it's a seltzer. But it's a 10-barrel seltzer, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't know if I know what you're saying.
It's a little bit hard.
Oh, I got you. Oh, is it like a what, like a White Claw or like a?
No, it's a 10 barrels are like a brewing company out over here.
Oh, I see.
And it's called Clean Line, and it's blackberry cucumber hard seltzer.
Oh,
I'll give you a quick review. I'm not going to drink it out of the glass just in case, you know, I don't want to start any shit.
Okay.
But take a sip and I'll let you know how it tastes.
Let's do it.
A lot like cucumber, not a lot like blackberry.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. There's a little black thing floating in the cup. Like a little tiny black thing floating. It's like on the bottom of the cup. And I'm confused about where it came from. I'm not sure if it was in the cup already, if it came out of the can, or if it was in the lining of the can.
Yeah.
So,
and all of those have very different implications.
Indeed. If it came out of the can, I'm like, oh, maybe they actually used blackberry in there, and a piece of blackberry is in the bottom of my cup now.
Yeah.
If it was in the cup already, then I'm like, maybe it's an old coffee grind.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was on the lining of the cup, I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's 100% rat feces at that point.
Yeah, probably, right?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, a piece of someone's skin.
Oh God. Oh, that just grossed me out more than the rat feces.
Well, to be honest, like I got this seltzer in a park.
Oh, from like a salesman?
No, from I think I told you this story one other time, but one night after the bar closed, I ran to the store with my friend. Literally.
Oh yes.
Bought some beverages at the store and then sat in the park. My buddy took a little snooze, woke up. We hung out with these random people in the park. They were like, "You want some hard seltzers?" We said, "Sure." Next thing you know, we had friends.
There you go. Okay, cool.
And I've seen them. I've seen one of them again. She's cool.
Nice.
In case you were wondering if she was cool or not.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Yeah. Oh, that's
But
good.
so I had this in my fridge for like few weeks, and today I had a margarita before, like I said in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So I went to the fridge. I have regular seltzers, and I had this one hard seltzer. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a hard seltzer.
Yeah, there you
So that's
go.
where I'm at right now, and I can tell you that it's not the best drink I've ever had. Not even close. Like even just as a seltzer flavor, like it's not good.
Really?
I don't really like the flavor cucumber.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Like cucumber in water is, I don't know, it's hit or miss. You got to be
Still
in the
not that
mood
good.
for it for some reason.
I'm 100% down with lemon.
Yeah, of
Put
course.
lemon in all of my water. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Cucumber, just like
Yeah,
it's like grass water.
I get what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Like it has
Mhm.
like a, I don't know if bitter's the right word, but it almost feels like it wants to like dry your mouth out or something. You
Yes,
know?
yes, yes. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm drinking coffee in the pine mug
Nice.
and a blackberry cucumber seltzer in the other mug.
There you go. Blackberry cucumber seltzer.
It is, yeah. If you see it in the store, turn away from it. Look for something else.
Didn't you say they were local?
They're local, yeah, but if you want a 10-barrel drink, get a beer.
Oh, they have good beer. Okay, there you go.
They have
So,
good beer, yeah. 10 Barrels, yeah, well, a great brewery.
yeah, so if you
They
see
actually
them,
also have very, very good pizza. So if you see a brewery, there's one in Bend, there's one over here in Portland. Go check it out. Get a pizza. Get a nice beer. They got good hazies there. Do your thing.
there you go. So if you see them, if you see a blackberry cucumber seltzer by 10 Barrel, turn away from it. But then check the rest of the inventory for a better product.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're not
Actually,
sponsored.
Licensed Carpenter has gone to a 10-barrel with me.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah, it was
How
a good
was it,
time.
licensed carpenter?
Do you remember?
Hopefully, once I finally come out there, we'll do that.
Come out here, dude. There's
I
so much fun stuff to do.
I think I'm really ready to, cause well, you know, by ready to I mean I have to go to a wedding in Mexico which is gonna be awesome, but it's like, you know, it's expensive and takes time and
Yeah.
stuff. But in August, but and the plane tickets are insanely expensive right now, but once that kind of mellows out a little bit, I'm so down because I don't know, for a long time I was just like, oh, I just don't want to be outside my comfy zone for too long. Like I don't know, I was like dealing with a lot of anxiety and stuff, you know, personal moment right
Mhm.
now. But
Yeah.
it's like the which I talk to you about that stuff all the time, but I just mean like, you know. But we I don't know. I don't. It doesn't feel like that scary anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I could totally do
Hell
that.
yeah.
It's no big deal. Like, so it
Yeah.
sounds like it'll be just awesome, you know. Whereas in the past,
Yeah.
I knew it would be awesome, but I was just like, oh my god, but then I'm gonna be like so far away. Like, oh, what if I like feel weird? I don't know, but I'm not. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah. For
Especially
sure.
now, like I've like gotten a lot better with this city as well. I like know more people and more stuff, and
Yeah. To be honest, it would have been kind of based off like your new outlook on where you live and like, you know, stuff like that. It's it almost feels like it would have been a disappointment in the past. Well, now
yeah,
knowing this, because you pretty much didn't really, you know, have go-to places the same way you do now, right? Sort of.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, honestly, like if there was gonna be only one time that you would come, it's better that you would definitely be better that you come now.
Yeah. That's
'Cause I
definitely
have a way
something that
better
will happen.
understanding. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll do it. I mean,
it'll be
yeah. I mean,
maybe
yeah.
in the fall or something. Even who
Yeah,
knows?
that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm hyped. I mean, it'll be cool. 10 Barrel was a good ass brewery, by
yeah,
the way. The hazies were 10 out of 10. That's
yeah,
what's
yeah,
up.
brother.
Yeah. Gotta check that out. What's a hazy? Just like a IPA?
It's like it's IPA, but it's like I guess I would say it's like citrusy.
Mm.
It's
Oh
got a
yeah,
haze to it. It's like
I've
kind of
had
like
stuff like
thicker a
that.
little bit.
Yeah,
It's good.
I've
I've
had
been on
that
a big
stuff.
IPA kick lately, honestly. Like That's my go-to now. And the bar next door, man, they chill their glasses so well. Like sometimes I'm like, it's a little too cold out to have a nice beer.
Really?
You know,
Wow.
like it's like that glass is that cold. Where I'm like, I might get chilly if I have a beer.
Oh my god.
It's like eating ice cream in the winter. It's like,
Oh, okay, okay. I see
I
what you
don't know if I
mean.
want to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is really extremely refreshing. I always look forward to it when I like my new thing is like I'll get beers after work basically only now. Like, I don't really go out during my not work days, but it's like
Yeah.
nice. I get off work, I come home, shower, then go get a nice fucking cold beer.
Yeah.
It just feels like I just pat myself on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's a good feeling. For
treat
sure.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Treat yourself 2011. Shout out to Tom Haverford and Donna. I don't know if she has a last name in the show. Yeah. Actually, I think she does. I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Most likely. Yeah, let's find out.
Donna.
Summer.
Yeah. Donna Meagle. Yeah, that makes sense.
Donna Meagle, everybody.
Yep.
Shout out.
Shout out. I'm curious to see how I would view that show nowadays. Not that I think I would, I would enjoy it still, because I loved that show when I first watched it, and I've rewatched it since, and I loved it. It's just interesting to see, like, I don't know, because like the show like plays up like certain stereotypes a lot, like like Ron Swanson is like a total like American like libertarian guy, and like Leslie is such a I don't know, she's like obsessed with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and stuff like that. It would just be interesting to see.
True. Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, like seeing that naive outlook about how like, yeah, we're gonna just work hard and we're gonna get it done. It's like, well, even in the show, they always run into those problems and stuff. That's actually the whole show is kind of about how like the bureaucracy makes everything not functional.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
God, especially even on like small scale government stuff, like fucking Parks and Rec.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the show we're talking about, by the way. I don't know if we even
if
said
it wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Honestly, like a lot of my views on stuff has like changed a lot. Like watching certain types of media, or it's weird to me too. Honestly, like I'm really turned off by ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generally speaking, but also like, and this is like a catch-22 thing, because I get like, especially content creators, like running ads is like a huge way that they make their living. But also, I just have a problem with it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, just the fact that that's the way that money is generated for them, or the fact that they participate in it rather than taking a moral stand and being like, I'm not going to run any ads.
I guess both, obviously. Like I mean, I get that. I get why, but like also it's like I don't know, it's tough. I don't want to say the wrong thing really, but like sometimes it feels like how much money do you need?
Yeah. I
That type of thing.
I can see that, yeah.
Because like, I don't know. Because at a certain point, you're just now you've taken care of everything, and now you're just able to buy more stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't really get like why that's a good thing.
The way I've kind of thought about this before, not too much, but the way I kind of think about it, and I don't have this isn't like some strong opinion or anything. It's just I kind of think of it sort of like in that type of career, if you want to call it that, which it is actually. Yeah, I don't know why I say it that way. It's kind of like you don't know if you're gonna like be remotely relevant next year. You know what I mean? So you pretty much are trying to make as much money now so that you can be secure for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? When you don't know if that window is gonna last 10 years or if it's gonna last another 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that.
That's a fair point.
That's how I would be thinking about it. I would be like, I don't want to do this, but I don't want to have to go and be like, oh fuck, I should have taken that more seriously, and now I have to go just randomly work at some shitty company or something, you know, like.
True. Okay. Yeah. That's fair. That's really
I
fair.
don't know if that's the way they're thinking about it, but you know, I could see that a
Yeah.
little bit.
And a big part of it too is like what companies they're supporting and what such and such. And
Yeah, right.
generally it feels like, if they're supporting like decent companies, then it's all good.
Yeah, I could
But
see
like,
that for sure.
yeah,
I think it does make a difference like that. If someone, I was actually just thinking after I said that, like, that obviously doesn't include if these people who are like, yo, definitely check out this new crypto. It's gonna be fucking sick, bro. Like,
yeah,
definitely check out, whatever, Poopy Coin. It's gonna be like worth so much. Get in now, guys. And it's like, you literally are just saying that because you and your friends are multimillionaires who can influence a bunch of young people, and you guys are gonna put in a shit ton of money early, and then all your fans are gonna go in, drive the price up, then you're just gonna sell it, and then the thing's gonna tank, and they're all gonna lose their money. Like,
yeah,
what you're doing. It's like, if that's pathetic, but if people are just like,
it's more than pathetic. It's really fucking fucked
right,
up.
it's like criminal. It's like, it should be anyway.
Yeah,
It's like you, and it's just like you're like a horrific person, at that point. But it's like, if you just are going around being like, yo, I mean, check out these headphones. I don't know if you can use this promo code and get a discount. It's like, okay, well, whatever. You gotta somehow. I mean, like you said, if you're doing, I don't know. I was gonna say you got to make money somehow, but it's like, but if you already have like many millions of dollars, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Unless
I mean, I
it's
always
what
like
I said,
the idea of Patreon a lot. It's like a direct support system, and that's kind of cool because then you could like, I don't know. I have this like daydream of like the future just being a lot of that.
Okay.
Like people kind of like money just flows between people.
That would be cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it almost becomes meaningless because like everybody is giving money to each other, and then they're giving money to other people.
Right. AKA
You know what I mean?
like an economy is supposed to look like for real. Like
exactly.
People buying and selling goods that they want and need, not just like, oh, I'm in so much debt, I have to work to pay it off. Like,
yeah. Oh God, how sad.
Maybe if I gamble my life savings on on these companies that I have no influence over, maybe I'll get out of this mess. And then it's like, oh, I'm so lucky. Like, I made a lot of money I made a lot of money by investing in real estate before prices got jacked up beyond belief and displaced massive amounts of people. Like, it's like, that's a good economy.
Yeah. It's so stupid, man, the way that we're doing stuff. We're not very we're not very forward thinking about everyone's trying to get rich as quickly as possible, and it's just irritating when I think about it for any longer than a second, because it just becomes obvious very quickly that nobody knows what they're doing or why, and it's solely about like making the numbers go up and not about like doing something good or succeeding or like actually, like.
Yeah, you can go to jail if you don't do everything in your power to increase quarterly profits. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crime. That's the sick world we live in. Like, if you can make money doing something, but you personally feel like it's immoral and it's going to hurt people in the long run, and you don't do it, that's a crime. Like fiduciary responsibility. Well, if it's a publicly traded company, like.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking.
I mean,
pretty fucking cool. It's sick, bro.
Yeah. But like, I don't see the problem. I wish people could see the way I just spelled responsibility.
Don't let them know.
Responsive. Oh, I only put one letter wrong. It just looked really bad. But I spelled the first word wrong too. When someone has the person in duty must act in a way that will benefit someone else, usually financially. Okay, yeah. Basically, it's like if you act in a way that isn't in the interest of your shareholders, you can be like prosecuted. I think. Let me just check because I don't know if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that. Uh, Here, hold on. We'll switch over to here. Oh, I gotta. So annoying. I gotta remember to do this. Okay. Let's see. Being a fiduciary requires being bound both legally and ethically to act in the other's best interest, but they mean financially. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. Under a trustee, the fiduciary is a legal ownership. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I'm like just basically winging this. I'm pretty sure I'm right about it. If I'm wrong, let me know. I don't know.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, yeah. The economics is such a strange thing, and it's so funny to me that people study it as if it's a real thing.
Exactly. Like it's this natural phenomenon. It's like,
yeah, it's really
naturally,
strange.
there's a centralized Federal Reserve that's going to print money out of thin air, and that's just the way it is. Banks, when you take a loan, they're just going to invent the money, and then you're just in debt now. It makes sense, right? Like, are you kidding? Like, and then they're like, they talk about it like it's like, that's just the way it works. I mean, that's everything. That's pretty much everything that we talk about comes down to that. It's like, the problem is people just being like, well, don't you know? That's just how it is. Stop being naive. It's like, well, that's the point. Like, why is it like that? Are you kidding me? Like, you think it makes sense that, like, you think it makes sense that 3 Wall Street firms control, like, $20 trillion? That's more than the U.S. GDP. I just found this out today. I was watching a lot of Bernie Sanders stuff. But that's true. Like, you know?
I know, it's fucking...
$20 trillion.
I mean, I don't know. I just can't believe it's like this.
And I understand that people invest in mutual funds and stuff like that or whatever, and they're using other people's money a lot, and people are making money off of it and stuff like that. Sure, but the point is they're the ones who choose where the investments go, and at that point, it's. If you have $20 trillion and the purpose of that money is to invest into companies to increase profit for people, then at that point, if you invest enough money into companies, you own the company. So basically, they just use your money, but like they own the country. They own the whole economy. You know what I mean? And people were talking about, oh, these banks are too big to fail. Remember back in 2008 or whatever? Oh, they were too big to fail. This is crazy. We can't let this happen. These companies, like, own the banks, basically. Maybe not own them, but they pretty much, like, have, like, big amounts of control over them through their, like, massive amounts of shares. Like, and then it's like, but what, that's not too big to fail? Are you kidding me? If one of these companies goes out of business, it would literally, like, the whole world would be, like, so badly affected by it. It's, like, insane. Like,
yeah, let it happen. Let the free market do its job.
Yeah, exactly. Stop letting these lazy, entitled bums sit on their ass and collect government handouts all the time. That's the real problem going on in this country. Stop giving trillions of dollars to these freeloaders who want to they don't know how to spend their money properly, clearly, because...
I also I am firmly in the belief now that like inheritance over a certain amount of money should absolutely be illegal.
I agree 1,000%.
And I mean like $50,000, that should be the cutoff.
Down in the long run, I would pretty much agree with you. I think right now, it's in like the unfortunate state of the world, it's like, you know, whatever. If you have, because a house is worth more than that. You know what I mean? If you have a house and stuff,
yeah, good.
Can you leave it to your kids? You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
You know?
Well, I mean, liquid cash, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with $50,000. I have a problem with, like, you know, if you want to make the limit be like, I would even go so far as to say, you can, you know, when you die, you can give your family and stuff up to, like, I don't know, I'll just, like, picking a number out of thin air. It's like, I'm even talking, like, in the range of, like, $5 million or something like that. Cool. Okay. Cool. $5 million. The problem comes along with, because someone who's worth $5 million is a lot closer to me and you than someone who's worth 10 billion. You know what I mean? Or like 100 million. Someone with 5 million is poor compared to somebody with 100 million, you know? And that's where the problems come, you know what I mean? When It's like,
Yeah, good point.
yeah, like in my opinion, I don't know. And I'm not saying,
No, I would
5
agree.
million is like, that's the perfect world. Yeah, people should be allowed to have that 5 million while someone else has a cardboard box, like, not to make a
Well, do you
joke
think
of
that
it, but
would? I wonder if it would really affect anything though. Like if Bezos and Musk couldn't, like, if they knew that when they died, their money would just be like
probably wouldn't even
sucked
care, to
up,
be honest. Probably would
right?
care, but it wouldn't change anything, I don't think.
They would
They
find
have a
some kind of
sick
loophole, honestly.
mental twisted mind that they can't control themselves, I guess.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Seriously, and it's like it goes to like kind of what we were talking about before. We were talking on stream about like people with sex and shit like that. It's just like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
weird, unhealthy relationship with it.
Yeah. It's like this.
Fixation.
Yeah, like, right. And at the end of the day, what is it? Anything that we do like that, there's some element of feeling like it's going to be the thing that's going to make you happy. And
Mhm.
at that point, when you have $250 billion or whatever it is, and you're still like, I'm going to literally try to influence the US government because I want to be able to make sure that my profit keeps increasing year after year, like, you're hopeless. Like, you're insane. That's like,
Yeah.
we should be looking at these people like, I don't understand how we're looking at it like, oh, Elon Musk, yeah, I don't like that guy. Or like, oh, no, he's actually pretty dope. He makes funny tweets. It's like, people say stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah.
if you, like, how are we not, like, pretty much, like, universally looking at it as, like, holy shit, there's, like, psychotic maniacs, like, influencing the government. We gotta do something about this. This is crazy. This is scary. But no, people are just like, dude, chill. He's like a real life Tony Stark, bro. Like, he's so dope. Like, Teslas are so sick. Like, my boy has one and it drives really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Or even more so, it should be like we need to get them help. They need help. They
yeah,
need
yeah,
therapy, good therapy.
exactly. Like, they should be doing studies on this. Like, what is the mental disorder that causes people to be like that? You know what I mean? Like, what type of trauma did they endure to make them feel like they had to do that? Because think about the fact
Yeah.
that at any moment, like, you can just, I mean, it seems like we don't even, like, this goes overlooked very often, I think, now, which is weird, because I don't even think about this much. But you can just choose to just, like, have, like, a successful, like, if you have a successful business, you could just be like, this is cool. Like, I'm really grateful and I'm happy and I'm going to, like, try to grow the business and stuff, but, like, I want to make sure that I'm a responsible person. I still got to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. Like, you don't have to, like, do all that. I mean, I was just talking about the fiduciary responsibility thing, but that's different from, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't, there's a difference between, like, oh, I'm going to make sure that we keep turning out good products and, like, stay relevant versus, like, I'm going to, like, literally try to sway the next election so that I don't get taxed more. Like, oh my God.
I know. It's really
And by
sad.
more, I mean so that I don't get taxed, period, because anything is more
Basically.
than zero, I guess. So,
What was Bernie talking about that you were watching?
well, this here,
Is it
actually,
new stuff?
coincidentally, well, I guess not so coincidentally, times have never been better for billionaires. And this is from earlier. Oh, yeah, this is obviously from February of this year. But yeah, he's just talking about how they're just making record profits and stuff like that. And during the pandemic, their net worth like doubled and stuff like that for the most, like, in some cases.
Surprise.
And actually, hold up. Let me look up
I do find
one of these. Let me see. I want to see if I could find the one where I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Oh, actually, it was a very recent one. So it might be there. It's basically about the oil, like, the price of gas and stuff like that. And he's just addressing the amount of money that these companies are making while they proceed to say that this is an outrageous inflation and it's because of it's because people got checks. The inflation's because people got checks.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like, they're producing more oil now than they have at any point since November. Their profits are soaring. They're making like double what they did last year, which, COVID was more of a big, lockdowns were more of a thing back then. So it makes
I didn't
sense that.
realize that Bernie Sanders had his own YouTube channel. This is exciting news.
Yeah. I think he has two. I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Where is this? Because I just watched this today. I don't know. Not sure. I don't know. What the hell? Where is it? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Bernie. Oil companies. I don't see.
Do you think is he gonna run in 2024?
I hope so. I don't know. I mean,
I hope so too.
After 2020, I was like, there's literally no chance, but I don't know. 2024 is not that far away,
We're getting there. We're going there. We're getting there.
And that kind of means that like the early like kind of build up is going to be only like a year away, like.
Mm-hmm. I really want to see a Bernie versus Trump. I really feel that's the election that should have happened.
It could just be the most important thing ever. No, it would be
like a
huge thing. That would be, oh my God.
The Democratic Party needs to grow up, man.
Yeah. If he won, oh my God. I am not even joking. Like, I know this is like super cringy and like very like liberal sort of mindset, but like, I don't know. If he won, I would just like literally cry tears of joy. Like,
yeah. It would be fun. It would be nice to hear his voice speaking instead of Biden's.
Yeah, because and the voice is hearing somebody be genuine and actually be passionate, that's good and all. But I just mean like I just don't think that he would, like with Build Back Better and stuff like that. Like Biden just like totally backed down immediately. He didn't even back down because he wasn't there in the first place. Like he wasn't fighting and then gave up. He just never even entered the arena. You know what I mean? He just was like, Joe Manchin's a good guy and I'm gonna try to have a word with him, and like then obviously that doesn't do anything. I mean, come on, we live in the real world. Are you insane? And then but like with Bernie, it would just be like he would definitely go to like he would stop at nothing. He would be in. Well, I don't understand why he didn't do this time. I mean, I'm not there and I don't understand like what the hell goes on behind the scenes, obviously. But like I mean, he had like an article published in like the local newspaper in West Virginia, in one of them, whatever, in a West Virginia newspaper, calling out Joe Manchin for like his involvement with like coal lobbyists and like well, not even really, because he himself is basically one. He owns like a coal company basically, from what I understand, like, or he's like involved in the industry like a lot. Like that's his main job, and this is kind of like his side gig, being a senator. And it's like, like, but why didn't Bernie go there and like have a rally in West Virginia and make it a huge deal and so that more people notice, like, oh shit, like we got to do something about this guy. This is our guy is the one that's like preventing this from happening. What the hell? That would have done a lot more.
Yeah. I
don't know why he didn't do that. Maybe that would have been way too intense, and then he felt like it would have hurt his relationship with the Democratic Party. But like, bro, at some point, man, it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess in the long run, if it all works out and he becomes the president or something, and then it's like, oh, it was worth it because I ran on the Democrats' platform. All right, fine. It was a 4D chess move, but like, you got to do stuff when you can, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
But I'm not here to criticize Bernie. I mean, obviously he's better than everybody else, but
yeah, but I honestly, like, I don't think really, like, I don't know, playing politics it never seems like it's actually for the better. Like actually like going along with what they want so you can, I don't know. I feel like especially now, like,
like playing Bernie, politics like that, because
it
would be playing politics if he went and held a rally in his home state. You know what I mean? But that would be like aggressive action. Not just like, oh, I'm gonna play the long game. Yeah, I'm gonna Pretend I'm gonna keep my enemies close. It's like, if that would have passed, that would have been amazing. But I don't know. Also, like, what was he gonna do about like Kirsten Sinema? I mean, he could have done the same thing there. You know, I don't know. But they already are against her, so I don't know.
I guess it's
these people have no conscience either. It's not like they're gonna be like, oh my god, they're turning on me. You know, as long as he still has his business to fall back on, why would he care? You know, like.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Fuck.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So irritating.
Yeah. But if he won, it would be, if he won, I feel like it would have been a lot different. He would have been out there multiple times a week being like, we want to get this thing passed, and Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are blocking it along with every single Republican in the country. So call them up. This is their phone numbers. This is their office number, and demand that they vote the right way on this. And you know what I mean? And he could have went ham and been doing that on ABC News at prime time, whatever.
Yeah.
Or CNN or MSN, whatever. And just making it be the discussion, and but it's just. It would just be so much different and so much better, and I think people would realize I don't know. It's weird. It's also kind of scary though, because it's I feel like there's a 100% chance that the media companies are going to try to just be like, this is going horribly, anything that goes wrong, whatever, what could go wrong, whatever, this, gas prices go up or something like that. And they'll turn and say, this is because of the leftist agenda of Bernie Sanders, and how are you going to pay for it, Bernie? They always asked him, and he never had an answer, and now we're learning that it doesn't work, so we got to crush it. This is a threat. They'll say that stuff, even if it's just literally the fact that the U.S. is exporting shit tons of oil and making massive amounts of profits while being like, I don't know, bro, we don't have enough. I don't know what to tell you. Biden won't let us drill. It's like you're drilling more than ever,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Greed.
How is there one living human being who's okay with the fact that the gas prices are high, and they're just, instead of the government being able to just be like, yeah, we need that, we signed a lease to you or whatever for the land and let you drill there, but we need it, this is an emergency, so we're taking it now. Your operation is being halted, and we're just going to take it and use what we need, and we're going to lower that price down to as I'm saying this, I'm even trying to be as this sounds so radical or whatever for most people probably, but as I'm saying this, I'm feeling you would have to be such a bitch to settle for that. It should just be oh yeah, we the criminals who let you sign this, who were our government, who let you sign this lease to steal from the land and rob everybody of what is supposed to be a vital resource, apparently, according to these people, oil. It's yeah, those criminals who gave you this, that's not good. So you're out, and you're being a criminal with the way that you're using it. So we're just gonna actually take it and provide it for the people who need it and stuff like that, and then whatever, if we're going to sell the rest of it, fine, but that goes into that counts as tax revenue, you know what I mean? Anything we sell counts as tax revenue, and we'll use that to fund Medicare for all and stuff like that, how is there anyone who doesn't want that to happen? Anyone?
Yeah.
What do you have a choice. Take all the oil and use it and make the prices really cheap, and just use it for everybody and get more money for the government using it, versus let companies take it and do whatever they want with it and charge you whatever they want for it, and then sell a lot of it over to whoever is the highest bidder. How is that even a conversation? And then but the thing is, and then they keep all the money.
Yeah.
And
well,
you pay,
no, that's the free market.
and we'll use tax money to pay them when they run into problems. We'll make sure that they're never uncomfy. So we'll always make sure that they, we'll use billions of dollars that we took from Joe, who's a fucking school teacher, and we'll pay the Exxon executives so that they can make sure that they don't look bad to their buddies, because yeah, it's mind-boggling.
So true.
It's mind-boggling, and I'm asking how is there anybody who doesn't think this? But I know it's because that's not because they just lie to you 24/7 in
Mhm.
every way. Every form of media besides like, YouTube, I guess, or like independent stuff is like just saying like it's because of Joe Biden. Oh, it's because of the
Uh-huh.
checks. They printed
Yeah,
money. They printed money. It's like
they do it all the time.
trillions of dollars went to like
I know.
the biggest corporations. I don't
Oh my god. I mean, it's just becomes more and more obvious that's like there is a game being played here and a game being played here, and then there's the rest of us
yeah,
that are playing a different game that's much less fun, it seems
right.
like.
Like I don't think people understand that. Like I know people don't understand this. Like I think people have this idea that like whatever, like it's easy to say this stuff. I'm not saying like the individual man, Jeff Bezos, is the problem. Yeah, he's a fucked
Mm.
up individual who's a total piece of shit and stuff like that, and no one should be able to do that and exploit like millions of people and stuff. But like it's the problem is like I think people believe that like guys like that are like waking up, getting dressed, taking a shower, and like going to work, and their job is just to like be the CEO and like really like they're really like stressing out about work a lot or something. I mean, maybe they do, but like they think that it's like they're like swamped with paperwork and they're handling a lot of shit and they're like, fuck, man, I gotta do all this shit. Oh my god, this is crazy, man. I hope I get home for dinner on time. Like that doesn't happen. Like they have, yeah, sure, if you're like the guy who like runs a little auto body shop and stuff like that and you're a business owner,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
sure, yeah, that's
That's a
happening.
different thing.
But these guys are not doing that. They just have like assistants and like people, other executive people who do it for them or whatever. Like, and they just like,
They
I
go to
don't
lunch for
know.
like 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah,
They answer a couple of phone calls.
right. And
They
then
they micromanage people that don't need micromanaging.
right, exactly. They and their job is not to like I really believe that people think like Elon Musk is like he's like this like guy who is staying up late at night, laying in bed, and he's just like, "Huh, I got it. I just realized another thermodynamic way to reduce whatever, to increase battery longevity." And like he like puts it in his phone and he calls up his like, get in the office right now. I gotta get there and we gotta start working on this. No, like he just like has engineers and scientists and researchers that are like figuring it out for him. And a lot of that stuff that a lot of the ways that technology gets developed, like most of the time, it's from government. Like government pays people to research it because it's supposed to be like a way, and it's this illusion that it's like, oh well, the government is going to use the people's money to pay scientists and stuff and engineers to develop like new technology that can benefit us all. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, I'm on board with that. So, and then when it gets developed, we get access to it and we uplift ourselves with it, right? And it's like, no, then we let some random fucking idiot patent it and decide the price, and he decides like, yeah, we could make a better product, but that would be less cost. Our margins would be smaller. So I'm just gonna make a slightly worse product, and that'll cut down on manufacturing costs. It's like,
Oh.
and you have no say in it. You don't get to decide. And that's why, like, honestly, just I used to not really get it that much. Even when I started getting into like a lot of this stuff, I understood that like, yeah, for the workplace, you like labor unions are good because you have more control over your own workplace. Like that's great, but like I like there needs to be like a massive union movement that to just like make it so that like most workplaces are controlled by the people who work there pretty much, and just get this whole culture of like the big man at the top. Yeah, like fuck that. Like you just need to eliminate that. And well, not I'm making it sound like eliminate that and everything else is fixed. No, I mean just like that's like the bare minimum,
Yeah, completely agree. And also stop the fetishization
Yeah,
of these people and of wealth needs to ideally go away. But I mean that's the
absolutely.
fucking trap of capitalism. They make it seem like it's This is the thing, like so many people are like, generally empty vessels just going around doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then when they have this, they're given this like, you know, cookie cutter cutout of like what it means to be like a winner
Yeah. Yeah.
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And they spend their whole life trying for that, which is also just an empty hole to fall into, which is just like the amount of people who make the amount of people who make a lot of money, even, and I don't mean Bezos money, but I mean a lot of money.
Yeah.
6 figures or whatever. Like, they're living comfortably.
Right.
I don't know how many of them are actually satisfied with their life, doing something they enjoy doing, or being around people they enjoy being around, or, feeling their emotions or moving through time
Right.
well and swiftly. And,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Or even in any real way contributing to society.
Right. That's another thing.
Even to their friends and family.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's like, this is something that I have a hard time with, because it's like, I on one hand, I realize that this is like this might be going a little far, but it's like, whatever. I won't say, okay, I'll just put it in terms of myself. All right. It's like, me, myself, when I think about just like, I don't know, like, oh, like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, all right, I'm going to like get a job in finance. It's like, how do you make yourself be okay with the fact that like you pretty much, the world would be better off if you just didn't exist, honestly, at that point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean like, oh, anyone who works in finance deserves to die. Obviously, I don't mean that. I just mean like, just like, that
in an
deep
ideal
down,
world,
right? Like, yeah, in an ideal world, that job wouldn't exist. Whatever, you would just you would exist. You would just be doing something else. But if you're dedicated to that job, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm making a life for myself, and what does that mean? I bought a house that like when my mom sends pictures to my aunts and uncles, they're gonna be like, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that like I succeeded. And I got like a car that was like a white car with like a Lexus logo on it. And now I don't drive like a blue car with a Honda logo on it anymore. And it's like, oh, I did it, guys. Yay. And it's like, but what did you do? Oh, I like figured out ways to like, I figured out how many people could, I figured out like that if you invest in this company, then, they're going to get if you invest in this Chinese company, they just like signed they just got like involved with the government, and they're probably going to get a big contract soon. So like their stock price is going to go up. And now I just like invested random money into it. That was like part of my hedge fund. It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
What did you do?
What did you do? Wait, say it again?
Yeah.
What
like,
did you do?
It's like, and that's what I do. And that's even like almost a little more like, okay, I mean, you didn't really hurt anyone, I guess. I mean,
or better yet, it's like they sent me a paper with numbers on it, and I took those numbers and then I put them in the computer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah.
And then I did that again and again, and then like I started a new spreadsheet, and then I put numbers into that too.
Right. Or even if
then I sent it to my boss.
Exactly.
And he said, "Good job.
Yeah.
You deserve a raise."
Right. Even with stuff like, I don't know. Even with stuff like things that I am overall interested in, it's just like, at the same time, I'm just like, well, with computers and stuff, there's many different ways that you can go about it, obviously, which is the one saving grace. But like, I always think to myself, just like, the idea of just being like, oh, what do you do? And it's like, oh, like, I make sure that like, I don't know, I like update and monitor like a network for an ad company. They do like mostly like print marketing. Yeah. It's like, what is that? What are you doing? Like, literally, the world would be a better place if you just didn't do it. You should let it fail and then like let the company go through turmoil and hopefully they go out of business because the world would be better off without them. You know, like you're part of the problem at that point. But it's like, damn, I don't know. Like it's hard to find like something where you can feel good about yourself doing it. And that's the alienation thing that Marx talks about, right? Like that's one part of it.
That's his main point, though. Like think about this, though. Think about this, and this is a big thing. I talked about this the other day at the bar. That's I feel like how most of my fucking things start nowadays. But talking about like the fact that your insurance is tied to your job, the fact that honestly, the fact that you can even retire from your job is a fucking hole. Right? Because people stay at jobs that they're miserable at because they're like, just 10 more years and I can retire. Just 15 more years and just 20 more years and then I can retire.
Yeah.
You're doing something you hate for most of your life so that one day you don't have to do it anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Just do something that you like.
Right. Exactly.
Because I mean, I think like if we're gonna live in a capitalist society, we should at least make it easy for people to move between jobs throughout their life.
Right. That would be like the bare minimum. Like, you know. All right, at least life isn't hell. It just kind of sucks, you know. Like
like think about like if literally there was no huge downside to like quitting your job and finding a different job.
Yeah, that would be.
If that alone, like if we can get that to be a main thing, which will take a huge amount of work because they don't want that to be a thing.
Right.
They want to have the power over you and make you scared to leave.
Yeah.
So if we were able to get that power. That would be enough to change it because people would easily be like, we're not going to work here anymore if you're going to be doing stuff like that. It would almost be a roundabout way of unionizing without having to unionize because, you know, or true democracy in the workplace because it's like no one's going to work for you if you're going to be a dick.
Right.
You know,
well, but that, I mean, yeah, right. That would be kind of like, that would, well, pretty much I don't know. That pretty much sounds like unionization because like, you know, if people, but that's what they do.
But it would be more unionization on a global level, like on a, you know,
just like a total like the union of the workers. You know what I mean? It's just like if you work, you have this attitude. But here's the problem.
Have a fucking good company, and we'll come.
Here's the thing, though, the way that they resolve that, because you know, if you're a top economist or a strategist or what do? Do you go and talk about how you went to school for economics and you really understand this stuff and you've thought about this and you've been taught like what people have learned from history? What do you do then? Do you go and make a YouTube channel talking about how Bernie's actually good? Or do you work for the most elite firms in the country? Yeah, you do that one. And so these people are aware that like, well, that's why you need to make sure that people stay poor and stuff like that, because the only way to combat what you're saying would be if, you know, because you're saying like if all the people got like, you know, solidarity and they weren't willing to work for shitty companies and they were like, no, we're only going to work for good ones. That would be great. And I agree with you 100%. But the problem is so how would you convince someone to like work for the shitty company? You got to, their other option has to be eviction fail. And, you know, they can't feed their kid or they, you know, can't go to the doctor, you know?
I know. And I mean, that's a huge reason why we can't get universal healthcare in this country, because if we had universal healthcare, it would take one weight off the shoulders of the fucking working class.
Exactly. And then they'd be able to move around in their career more freely. And they could say, oh, man, I made a mistake. I actually don't like this company. I don't like this job. I'm going to go look for something else. And then while they're
looking 30 hours a week if they wanted to and not have to worry about healthcare.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, you don't have the choice of, like, you know, it's not like you have the choice of, like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to be, you know, I just don't have too many ambitions for, like, material success or wealth or anything like that. It's like, I'd rather just, like, you know, kind of enjoy my life and whatever. You can't just, like, work part-time for the most part. I mean, I guess you can, but it's like you're severely limited on what you're able to do at that point. And in most cities, you can't. You know what I mean? In like, New York City, like, what are you going to do? You can't, like, live in New York City and just work, like, 20 hours a week. You know, like, no, I literally think you physically can't
a shit ton of money.
Yeah, like, I mean, who's going to pay? Yeah. Right. But that's my point. It's like, that would be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, just make it so that it's like, people are paid based off, like, the contribution that they make. Well, that's what's so frustrating. It's like, people, it's so insane when you try to talk to people about, like, this stuff, because the baseline understanding is not there. Like, when people hear about, like, socialism or anything, they think, like, the only thing most people think is like you get sent to the gulags and you like, the KGB is going to come knock your door down in the middle of the night and you have to work like really, really, really hard and then they don't pay you anything. Like that's what everybody thinks. Not everybody, but the average Joe, that's what they think.
Yeah.
And no one has a clue that really all it is just like you get compensated based off what you produce, not just like what the company has decided your wage is going to be. It's just like, oh, well, you generate this much, so you're going to be compensated for what you produced. Pretty much. I mean, that's a really simplified way of putting it, but I mean, that's the like one of the core concepts. But people don't even think that they're like, well, no, that's something else. They really just don't even associate that with it. They think it's all just like, you don't get to vote. There's just one party. They just tell you what to do all the time. They control the TV, the media. They don't let you read certain books. That's what everybody thinks it is. And they hear people who are in support of that, of the real thing, and then they're like, wait, what? How could you support that thing? Because they're thinking that you're like, yeah, I think it's good when the government tells you what you're allowed to watch on TV. Yeah. As if they don't do that now. But
yeah, I know, right? That's the fucking paradox of it. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
So the only reason why you think this is because our government right now does it.
True. God, it's so pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, like, we make it so difficult for people to just actually have a good life, like a well-rounded good life. It's really sad.
Yep. Oops.
And it needs to end. It needs to end.
I completely agree. That should be the purpose of society, to uplift, just to make sure that people can live a dignified life.
Yeah.
Rather than...
That's becoming the purpose of my life.
Yeah, there you go. That's great. Rather than society existing so that, like, I don't know, they treat it like it's like, well, in nature, the strong survive and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but we don't, like, okay, so let's go into nature and we'll do it that way then. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, the stock market is not nature. Like,
the only reason why we were to get to this point is because we worked together.
Exactly.
It's insane that people. The strong people are ruining everything.
I know.
They're not making survival easier. They're making it way more difficult purposefully in order to maintain their own supremacy, which is insane.
And
because they don't get anything for it at the end.
Right. Exactly. And they have you convinced that poor people are lazy parasites who just don't want to do anything productive, and they just want to get handed stuff for free. So
rich people are parasites.
Who's a parasite? Yeah, who's the parasite? The person who's like, oh my god, like, food stamps help me afford groceries, and yeah, sometimes I use them to buy like beer, and sometimes I use them to buy like Oreos and stuff like that, because I'm a human being and I'm alive, and like I'm not a poor, like I'm not like, I don't think of myself as like, I'm not saying me, but like, whatever, a person. It's like, I don't think about myself as like, I'm a welfare recipient. That's who I am. But society views them that way, and individuals view them that way. To them, they're a person who's like, I gotta get this, like, I gotta figure this out. You know what I mean? Like, this sucks. Or maybe they're just like, it sucks that I'm in this situation, but there's nothing I can do. I don't know, whatever it is. That's an individual. It's like, are they your enemy, or is your enemy the person who's like, I own this, so therefore I get to tell you what to do with your life, and if I need you here at this time, you're going to be here, and what do? You're going to be working 10 hours this Saturday because I need you. And what is this person doing? I don't know. Tweeting? Talking to, going to the beach? I don't know, like going out on the boat? I don't, like, oh, and I'm sure they're taking phone calls and stuff, and they're, going into the building. Calls. Yeah, going into the building, going into the office. It's like, dude, think about just one minor just think about the difference between going into an office where when you walk in that door, you don't know if it's going to be like when you're on your way there, when you wake up, when you open your eyes, you're thinking like, all right, I gotta go, because if anything happens that's outside my control, like if there's an accident on the road, or if the trains are slow, or if the train, whatever, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm like a 45-year-old, and I'm gonna get in trouble if I'm late because the subways stopped working because whatever, someone jumped in front of a train, or someone
I'm gonna get in trouble.
There was a sick passenger. It's like I'm gonna get in trouble.
All right, you can't let it happen again, though, John.
Right, and you're scared, and you're like worried, and you might not only just get in trouble, you might like not be able to live in in where you live anymore, and you might have to worry about like, stuff like that. And it's like, this person walks in there, this other person that you're afraid of, that is not a parasite, totally not. They get to walk in there, and they're just like, literally no one can tell me what to do. Like, I own this building, or like I own I'm like pretty much responsible for this place. Like, I can walk in here and do whatever the hell I want, aside from illegal stuff. But it's like, no one's gonna be like, why are you late? Why? You can come and go as you please. You could do this. Yeah, you got to run the company and stuff like that. Sure, but I mean, the people that I'm not complaining necessarily about. Like I said, the guy who's running a little, he's an accountant with like 2 employees, and he's like, trying to do that or whatever. Whatever. You're a guy. I mean, it shouldn't even be like that. But I'm not gonna say you're doing anything particularly wrong, I guess. But if you're like, you know what I'm saying? If you like, like own a law firm, and you got like 15 paralegals and like a whole bunch of different associates and people like that, and like like manager, office assistants and receptionists and stuff like that, you're not going to work the same way they are. You know what I mean? It's just not the same thing. It's just not. Like, and people think like, oh, they just worked really hard and they got, they did it. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't care what anyone says. It's like, I mean, I haven't done it a ton of times, but I've been stuck at work for like 16 hours before. I've been stuck at work for like 12 hours. I've been stuck at work for, there have been many, 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 many times where I've been at work for like 10 hours and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, like, what are these people doing differently that's like such harder work? Like,
yeah,
what are you doing? You physically need to sleep. You physically need to eat. You do all this like media stuff, and you're always on Twitter, and you're always doing this stuff. Like, half these people, you're going into outer space. You're, going on yachts. You're buying yachts. You're doing all this crazy psychotic stuff, and it's like, you're getting married. You're getting divorced. You're going to chilling with Jeffrey Epstein and stuff. Sometimes, some of them. It's like
every once in a while
you're doing stuff like that, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I thought you were just working so hard. What the hell is going on here? Because there's a lot of people who don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
most people.
if they're lucky, they'll take one vacation a year, and they'll go to like the Poconos for the weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and when they request time off, it's a little bit of a problem.
Right. You can't take
like,
you can't.
I mean, we're busy that week usually. I guess we couldn't.
If you're gonna take a vacation,
I'll let you know. I'll get back to you about that.
If you're lucky enough to have over a week of vacation, it's like, no, well, you can't take them back to back. You can't you can't even, like, if you're gonna use vacation days, you can't do like a Friday, you can't take off Friday and Monday, because that's, you just can't do that, because it's like slightly, like, we theoretically believe that that's going to be an issue for the company. So like, you got to tell your kids like, no, we can't do it. Like, it's like, what the hell is this? How can another human being tell another person that you can't do that? Like, it's like,
it's so silly, man.
I could see if they were like, yo, actually, I decided I'm only going to work 10 hours a week from now on, and I'm doing it remotely, and I demand a raise. It's like, okay, you can tell another person like, that's overboard. We can't do that. That just doesn't make sense. But if they're like, hey, can I, take off Monday and Friday for this? And it's like, no, you just can't. It's like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's insane.
People need to really get in the habit of just saying what they're gonna do too. That's a big thing. I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah.
People take no for an answer with that stuff, and it's just like, no, you don't understand. Friday and Monday, I'm not gonna be in here.
Right, but sadly, maybe that individual that you're saying that to might back down and be like, this guy's killing me, but I mean, what an asshole. All right. But like, or they could just be like, all right, don't even come in. You're fired. And now, boop, I hope you don't have to pay rent. I hope you have Medicare or Medicaid, whatever. And it's like, if you don't, you're fucked. It's like, was it worth it? Good luck finding a job now. Like, I don't know. It's like, so wild. Like, how is that a thing? In every, like, it's like, really, it's like, we're not a developed country. Like, really, it's like, we have developed stuff like, I feel safe and stuff generally. Like, I don't feel like, some, whatever.
Some barbarians are going to ransack your village.
Exactly. Stuff like that. Like, I feel generally safe and all that. Like, cool. I'm lucky in that way. But it's like, and I live with like comfort and stuff because I'm just lucky. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, you're either, if you're aware of what's going on, and it's like, you're either just like pissed 24/7, I guess, or you're just like obliviously comfortable, or you're just like, you kind of like buy into it and just become like, oh yes, I need more. I grew up in a suburban home, so I need to have a larger suburban home with a larger driveway and a bigger backyard, and I want to be, have a bigger car and a nicer car, and yeah.
More of them.
What?
More.
Yeah, more cars. Yeah. I'll get a garage. Yeah. That'd be nice. And then I can
work on my woodworking in there when I have free time,
right.
Which I never do.
I gotta get around to that. One of these weekends, I'm really gonna make time. I'm such a piece of shit. Why am I like this? I'm so unmotivated. All I did was end up watching Netflix and eating ice cream and stuff. I'm such a lazy piece of shit. Fuck. All right. Let me set my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning so I could be at work tomorrow. It's like, that's how we view ourselves and think. It's like, your value comes from just, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you an enthusiastic slave, or are you, a reluctant slave? If you're reluctant, that's a moral failure on your part. Just be aware. Like, stop being such a lazy freeloader. Just sell yourself to another person who's gonna just say, oh, yeah, okay, thanks for doing that. Gonna go sell it overseas now, or I'm gonna go whatever, make a shitty ass plastic product to just be a toy for a suburban housewife who can be like, oh look, it came. Oh look, the package. Oh, the package is here, and it's like, cool.
We got it.
Yeah, we got the package.
We got it. It's here.
We're happy now. Life's good.
Look.
It was made by some person in Malaysia who's working in a sweatshop, who's probably like some 14-year-old girl. Sick. But I mean, it's going to look really great on the dining room table. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang it up. Put that on the wall.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to put the light on behind me.
Yeah, actually, you want to take a quick break?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Be right back, everybody.
BRB.
And we're back.
Oh, baby, we're back. Ribs.
Nice one. Yo, Chili's, if you want to license that, DM us.
Yeah, hit us up. This
Well-
is not a sponsored video. We are
No.
not sponsored by Chili's, but Chili's is pretty good. I've spent a lot of time at Chili's when I lived on Long Island.
Yeah, it was.
I remember
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
going through a phase of Chili's eating. When I was first started eating vegetarian, they had a very good black bean burger there.
Huh. Funny you say that. Actually, I went through a little phase of trying to do vegetarian, and I got a black bean burger from Chili's one time during that phase.
And they're good. They're
Yeah,
good.
it was good. Yeah,
Mm.
Applebee's was my go-to one though. You know, I think everybody goes through that. Every suburban person like that goes through that phase, I feel like. Of like,
I fucking miss diners, man.
when you're like under 21, just like going out with people to like
Yes.
get food, you know? It's like, oh, we're going to
Yeah.
Applebee's. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. I remember one time, it was New Year's Eve, and a couple days before that, me and my friends. So I was single. I got out of like a long relationship and stuff. I was probably like 21, and I I basically we went out to Apple. Like this was a period where like we would normally go out to Applebee's. Like it was a routine thing. Like that would be us going out with the boys and whatever. And I remember it was New Year's Eve, and we were just like in my friend's basement, hanging out, like not really doing anything, just like watching TV, kinda. And like this movie called Hall Pass was on. I don't know if you know that one. It's got Jenna Fisher from The Office, Pam Beasley.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
And who else is in that? I don't know. I think Owen Wilson is in it. I don't know. Whatever. But
Okay.
it's called Hall Pass. He might not be in it. I don't know. But it's called Hall Pass, and it's about how this married couple like is like, all right, we're gonna like let each other, like, you know, it's okay to cheat on each other for like a month or a week or something, like a week or something like that. I forget what it was. And it's like the girl like goes to like, you know, she, you know, typical like movie type scenario, like she is going out and going to the beach with her best friend, and they immediately meet guys and they're like having fun, but she's not interested, you know what I mean? But then like, oh, she starts to kind of like start to like him, and oh, what's gonna happen? But on the other side, the guy like goes out to they think they're gonna go hard, like they think like, oh, this is gonna be a crazy ass night, like we're gonna hit the strip club, we're gonna meet girls, we're going to, you know, we're gonna be all meeting girls and stuff, and they end up going to Applebee's, getting a bunch of appetizers and just getting really full, or they get a bunch of food and they get really full and they're just like, oh man, I'm ready for bed, man, and stuff like that. And it was just New Year's. It was probably like 11 p.m. I'm seeing this and I'm just like, fuck, that's like me, and I'm only like 21 years old. And it literally influenced me to like change my lifestyle, kind of. I mean, not that it like made it super productive, but I mean, I had a lot more fun after that. Like,
there you go.
You know, but you know, at what cost? I don't know. No, there was no cost. There was no cost. But it was like,
that is really funny though, because I mean, sometimes it's just fun though too to go snack really hard instead.
Oh yeah, for sure, and especially weirdly enough nowadays, being a bit older than that, I'm like, I don't even see that as a bad thing anymore. I'm like, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I like to. I don't want to be going out too late now. You know, like,
yeah. Honestly, yeah, I feel like if someone gave me the option between like, do you want to go have some really, really good food, or do you want to go try to like hit on girls?
Right.
I'd be like, let's go get the food. Let's get the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, totally, 100%. If anyone ever said to me, "You want to go hit on girls?" I'd be like, what? But
what? Why are you asking me this?
Me that, but you know, people have definitely been like, "Yo, let's go out tonight. We're gonna like, you know,
meet some girls."
Yeah, I don't know if they said those words, but I guess maybe it was implied. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. There's definitely sometimes there's that energy about the friend group that you can tell they're all on the hunt.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can be fun, because then you meet cool people generally, especially if you have very outgoing friends,
right?
You know, because then they throw you into all kinds of scenarios, which can be fun.
Yeah, and yeah, not that I have any problem with someone going out and trying to meet somebody. Like, good for you. You know, it's great.
Yeah,
but
do your thing.
But just the attitude of like, yeah, we're gonna pregame and then we're gonna go out and it's gonna be sick, and you know, it's kind of, you know, whatever. I have no judgment for anybody who does that, but I'm just kind of over that. But it is I I don't know. It's interesting whenever you talk about like yourself going out and meeting people and just talking to them and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, like not
Yeah.
picking up chicks or whatever people want to
Mhm.
do. I just mean like meeting interesting people and stuff. Just talking about stuff.
But this girl at the bar the other day asked me like, "Oh, what are you up to tonight?" I was like, "Oh, just starting the revolution."
You said that? Nice.
Yeah.
How did she react?
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Because I mean, like, I don't know. That's what it feels like I'm always doing out there. It's. We've talked about it. I've said it on here before too, but it's like
Yeah, I love that.
it's so fun, man. It's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I
Just go out there, get people all like starting from like a really baseline conversation until getting people all hyped up about about it. It's just really
yeah,
fun.
no, I would love to do that. I gotta find the right place, man. Oh well, we kind of talked about that last time, right? I think I
Yeah,
might
yeah,
give
yeah.
that a shot soon. I just
Yeah.
need
We
to,
go Friday night or something.
yeah, just no huge expectations. You know what I mean? Like,
Go have a couple of beers, chill out. If it's
yeah,
boring, go home.
right. And just
That's the
hopefully
trick, man. Though.
find a willing person to listen to why the working class has to unite against our oppressors.
Mhm. Mhm. Seriously.
It would be
And
so
like I said,
satisfying to
I've been
get
like,
a random stranger to agree with that. Like, I just love it.
yeah. I've also kind of been teaching people a little bit how to talk about it,
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
which has been I feel once I started having that conversation. This is the like there was one person the other day that I started to talk to this about because
Okay.
he was curious, and I started explaining to him like the rhetoric system and how you know limiting it is when you're trying to talk about bigger ideas that are you know way more universal than people like to think that they are.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it was really fun because I was like giving him pointers on how to talk about this kind of stuff, and I felt like I don't know, it felt really important.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I hope I can do that more,
For
and
sure.
hopefully on here as well.
Yeah, definitely. The only
Mm.
time I ever have any experiences like that are when the way it always plays out is I one of my friends will ask me something. They'll just ask me like my opinion about something or make a joke and just be like, "Oh, you probably think this." Or like I said, they'll be like, "Wait, so what do you think about this? I want to just know." And I'm like, I'm always like a little reluctant cuz I'm like, "Ugh. Do I give like how long you got? You know what I mean? Like, you really
Yeah,
want me to
yeah,
tell you
yeah.
like how I feel and why, or do you just want me to give you like just my general opinion? Because if I do, you're probably gonna think like it's crazy or something like that. But because I don't know, like, but for some of my friends, like, they're some of them get it a lot more than others, and some of them have their own, I don't know. I was talking to somebody this weekend who, I don't know. I always feel weird saying people's names, but Brian, yeah, that's
Okay.
the first name, whatever. And he was asking me something about, my opinion about something, and he was, at first like adamantly disagreeing, but I think, but that's the thing, because I gave my opinion about it, and he was like adamantly disagreeing, but then I was like, well, you gotta understand, the reason I feel this way is because I don't think that society, like, I don't want to say too much because it's like, whatever, I don't know, it was like a private conversation or whatever, but it's like, it was about something that he was like, this should be viewed as a bad thing. And I was like, well, I don't think we should be treating it like a bad thing because the individuals who are doing that bad thing, if you want to call it bad, they're not like doing it because it's like a moral failure. They're doing it because society makes it so that people have to resort to doing things that are not what they would ideally like to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I know that's very vague, but whatever. It's like,
I know what you're getting at.
yeah, and yeah, but I'm like, all right, I'm trying to be brief, but it's like, you got to realize, like, on one hand, it's not just like, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I'm in support of it. I'm in favor of this thing. I'm like, no, I don't want that thing to happen, but like, I'm not gonna say, but right now, as it exists, by being against that thing, you're against the the people who are like kind of pushed into that or feel like that's their best option in this fucked up system. And
Yeah.
it's like, but then I explained, like, then it took forever to explain, not to him. He was very receptive, and we ended up totally agreeing in the end, but just with other people, like, chiming in and not being as, like,
Open.
yeah, like, open, yeah. And it's like, but yeah, at the end, I was like, well, the only reason why I think that is because, like I said, being against this thing makes it so that functionally you're against the people, and they're forced into this. Not forced, but like kinda a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's a sign that society, that like our system is so fucked that people feel like this is their best option. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Address that. Don't go for the people doing it. Go for the reason. You know what I mean? Like, and then we were in agreement. But it's just, that's like one of the first times I've ever had someone agree with me on anything like this stuff. Yeah. Everybody I know seems to be very like, not totally. Yeah. I mean, I guess people will like loosely agree, like, yeah, that's probably true. But like, it's not really like,
Well, this is a big thing for me too, and this is one of the things that I was talking about, is like people really like to talk about the boxes,
Yeah.
The theoretical boxes, whether it literally anything. Yeah. Anything. You put it into a box and then you talk about the box.
Okay, yeah.
And you're only talking about the topic through the through the lens that is the box.
Exactly.
And I like to say the box is imagined.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no box.
Right.
There's no box. What's ever in the box doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's no box. Let's talk about the real things here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Why are we even worried about the box?
Right. Oh, I'm gonna use the box thing. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to talk about it, because like even with like stuff that like are like mainstream issues, whether it be like the popular social shit now with anti-trans stuff and like Roe and stuff like that. It's like I get why like they're important to talk about right now, but at the end of the day, it's like I want to not be talking about that.
Right. Exactly.
I want that to not. If you're trans, be trans. I want that to be just fine.
Right.
I don't want to worry about that.
Yeah.
There's bigger issues to worry about than that.
Right.
But and it's like it's so obviously a distraction.
It's so obviously a distraction. The sad thing is though, it's like it's so obviously a distraction, but it's like you gotta like address it though. I mean, because it's like you can't just be like, yeah, we're gonna build a better world for everybody, and then it's like, yeah, but like trans people being like targeted as like this boogeyman who are like, oh, they're groomers, they're like actually corrupting our kids, they're like trying to convert people, they're trying to recruit people, and so we need to make it laws that make it like you can't be trans, basically. Like you're not allowed to take hormones, you're not allowed to, like a doctor can go to jail if they prescribe hormones, parents can get their kids taken away if they let them live as they are, you know what I mean? It's like that shit is like, you can't just be like, all right, that's not important enough. We got to just like move past that because there's like economic issues that we can really.
Well, no, tackle. I think that if I was arguing with somebody who was anti-trans or whatever, however much they are anti it or whatever, I think that I would use that argument the same way with them. Like I would be like, why are you so concerned about this? And to try to break it down from there and try to get to what they're actually concerned about more so than like you're fixated on this talking point, but what are you really saying?
Yeah, right.
What I mean?
They're really concerned about is like the decline of society, of the American way of life and the family values, and it's gonna.
And you go back and back and back, and then you're like, oh, you don't have enough money, and you feel displaced from your work.
Right.
Oh, weird.
Exactly.
Looks like you're a Marxist after all.
Exactly.
Let's go and do the good work that we need to be doing.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's just. Once you stop looking at the boxes, it becomes very, very obvious what the problem is.
Yep.
So yeah, like it's fine, but like I honestly feel like engaging in the conversations around what other people are doing, because nobody really cares about what other people are doing unless they think that they're somehow better than them if the other person's doing that thing.
Okay.
You know, it's
Yeah.
very clearly like the setup. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. Right. The only
So
reason you would be so concerned about someone else, is to be like, they shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing what I'm doing, like kind of thing.
yeah,
Like I have it
or they're
right. They're wrong.
or they're closeted in their own way.
Yeah.
You know, they have their own repressed fucking whatever shit.
Right.
They're like, I'm not allowed to be the way I want to be. So why do you get to be the way you want to be?
Exactly.
And let's talk about that first. You know, let's talk about that first before you start telling other people what to do.
Right. And even if it's not that, you know, even if they're not repressing anything, it's just like, it still applies. It's like, it's this thing where you just, I mean, I get it, but like, I get how you can be brainwashed into thinking this, but I don't understand how someone can like really give it thought and arrive at this conclusion that like, it's a problem for like people to just be like, you know, whatever. Like if you're like a teacher to just be like, you know, whatever. I know it's slightly different, but I mean, you know, it's totally different, but it's like, if you're like a teacher and you're a woman and you're like, oh, my wife and I are going to, you know, do this, you know, whatever.
The Poconos.
Yeah. It's like, people think that that's like, oh my God, you're confusing kids and you're trying to push a gay agenda and you're trying to tell them that it's like good to be gay, or like certain things. Like people are like a lot, like from what I hear, like right wingers are like outraged about the idea of like a teacher, you know, like the concept of a teacher being like, all right, everyone, just so you know.
Excuse me.
It's all good. Just being like, all right, everyone, just so you know, if you feel this way, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like if you look like a boy, but you think you're a girl, that's okay. You know, stuff like that. And like just letting them know that stuff. People think that that's like, that those teachers should like be in jail or like be fired immediately and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? Like, do you understand? Like, you gotta just peel it back and just realize like, you're assuming that like, they're doing like, so what's gonna happen? What are you afraid of? You're afraid that like, the kid is gonna be like, maybe I'm gay. Oh my God. And then like, they're gonna be gay or something, or they're gonna be like, maybe I'm actually a girl. Oh my God, I wanna be a girl. Or, you know, this feels right to me. And like, they might like, do that and then like regret it or something like that and then be like, oh, actually I'm a boy, and that would be a thing. It's like, the only reason that's an issue is because of people like you treating it like, oh, that's terrible, you're gonna make them ruin their lives, oh my God. It's like, why can't it just be like I want to live in a world where I can just like talk to some random 30-year-old man and he's like, and like, you know, we start talking about high school and stuff, and he's like, yeah, when I was in like 12th grade I was gay, but yeah, or well, I understand it's not like that, but like just kind of like just casually just be like, yeah, I experimented with dudes. Yeah, it's like, and then me just be like, oh, cool. You know, like obviously you would have to get to know the person. If someone just randomly told me that, it would be a little, you know, whatever. But you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying I want to have those conversations personally because it's fulfilling to me, but it would just be nice to live in a world where it was like just viewed as just like the most normal thing in the world. Like, maybe not say, yeah, back when I was in 12th grade, I was gay. I don't, more like just having a conversation with some dude who's like married with kids, and he's just like, oh yeah, like my ex, he was a real douche, or you know, whatever. Like, it just casually talk about it. It's like, yeah, like I just, you know, was figuring out what I was into. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. We all figure out what we're into. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I fully agree.
No one looks at it and it's like, you know, if you date a girl who's like, has brown hair and now your wife has blonde hair, you're not like, oh, I don't like to talk about that. Oh my God, I'm so ashamed I used to be into brown haired girls. Like, you know, you would never do that. But with this, it's like,
fully agree. That's what I'm saying about the boxes, man. I want to live in a world without any boxes. That'd be great.
Yeah. And if that's kind of an ignorant way of putting it, I mean, I'm sorry if anyone sees that, because I'm just literally trying to just talk about, I'm trying to put my thoughts into words, because I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't really like go around talking to people about this.
You're normalizing bisexuality, which is perfectly good.
Yeah, or just anything.
Especially
any
kind of
like
funny
gender fluidity or whatever. Like, it should just be just seen as like, yeah. It's like sometimes like you just want to try stuff out. Okay? You know?
Yeah. No, 100%. How are you supposed to know if you don't try it, I guess, you know?
Yeah, or, you know, whatever. Just if it feels right, you do it. If not, okay. Shouldn't be this thing.
Yeah.
These people view it in like this, like boxes. Like, it's like, well, if you transition, then you are now locked into this thing, and it's like, oh my god, your life is ruined and you're going to go through so much depression and stuff. It's like I definitely feel horrific for anybody who goes through that or whatever, but it's like the only reason why it's viewed so negatively as like this horrible thing is like because people think it's like, oh, you're making this huge choice that's going to like affect you forever and all this stuff, and like sure, but it's like, okay, but then you should just let people be themselves. That's it. That's really all it comes down to. Like, who cares? Who cares? How do you care? How is it possible to care? Yeah, like, how is it possible to care about that? I just like
just chill out and go suck a dick.
Right? Imagine sitting there. God, right? It'd probably be so much easier for a lot of people if they just gave it a shot. Like, you know, just like it's like at the end of the day, like, how is it humanly possible that there's someone right now probably sitting there as his wife is like, oh, you know, I wish he wouldn't get himself so worked up, and he's like at the dinner table like with his son sitting there like being like, oh my god, I just want to go in my room and play Fortnite, and like he's like, and then they want to put gays in the classroom. They're telling your kids that being gay is right and you should feel bad if you're straight. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life, man? Stop. Just stop. Like, you don't got to do that. No one needs you to do that. I promise. It's okay. Yeah.
Gonna be all right.
And that really is it. Like, the whole entire right-wing ideology comes from fear and, like...
that your dad didn't like you. I get it.
Yeah, right. And I think so much of it really does come down to that idea that you said of, like, well, I can't do what I want, so why should they be able to do what they want? It's like, you just internalize this idea of, like, a real man, you know, sacrifices and steps up and does what needs to be done and doesn't complain and doesn't... It's like, he handles his stuff. He doesn't cry and make it anyone else's problem. It's like, is that how you feel? That must be very difficult to go around with that burden all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be that way. No one's going to yell at you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, mommy and daddy are not going to hit you. You're good. You know? Like, you could just do whatever now. Like, it's crazy.
I know, it's so sad.
Yeah. It's so wild. You know? And don't get me wrong, it's definitely virtuous or whatever to, you know, make sacrifices to provide for people who you love or people who are in need. And great. Awesome. Sure. That's great.
Ideally, we wouldn't have to, but yeah, sure.
Right. Of course. But at the same time, it's like, you know, that doesn't mean you got to shit on other people who just get a different thing out of life. You know, it's like, come on, man. I don't know. So yeah, you want to wrap it up with that?
Yeah, that was a good fucking rant to end it with.
Yeah, this whole thing felt like one big 2-hour rant, but that's good. I like it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm down. If you so this Wednesday, I picked up a shift.
Okay.
So if you're down to stream tomorrow, either disco or chatting, I'm down if you're around.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be. If not, I'll let you know. But let's say we'll do it. Yeah.
Cool. So if you're watching this, look forward to maybe tomorrow. Definitely, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Who knows? The suspense is what will get you through your day.
It's very, very possible that we'll maybe do it.
Yeah, that's definitely within the realm of possibility.
All right. Thanks for joining us. I know that we had a couple people hanging out, and it's always fun to see a licensed carpenter in the chat. Gotta love him.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if anyone is hanging out or whatever and wants to check it out again, I don't know. But feel free to type in the chat. Like, I realize that we speak pretty passionately about this stuff, but like, I would never be like, oh, look at this idiot. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point is like, you know, let's just talk about it. It's fun.
Yeah, so fun.
That would be so
Hop in
cool.
on the conversation.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I think you'd have fun too, you know, out there.
Yeah.
Who knows? You probably would. Maybe not. I don't know. Give it a shot.
And keep checking out the YouTube videos. It's really nice to see how many views we're getting on there. It's cool.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
And like and subscribe too, obviously. You know, I know you're supposed to do that call to
that
action shit, but we're not good at that we're not very good at that often.
Yeah, half the time we're doing this, I'm like practically forgetting like, oh, this is gonna be recorded. Like, this is gonna be on the internet for real.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, so yeah. See ya soon, everybody.
Thanks for coming. This is the Pine Men.